One African proverb says, a man carries his sorrow in his chest, but a woman spills hers into the wind. Still on our series on Different for a Reason, today I want to speak on why men detach and women express during stress. Why men detach and why women express during stress. Exodus 2:23, and it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. Ladies and gentlemen, notice two things. Some sighed, some cried. Men don't cry, they sigh, they internalize, they hurt deeply inside. But women cry. That's why when somebody dies, a loved one dies, you see more women crying than men. Men sigh and women cry. That's why more men die of heart disease, because what they ought to have let out, they bottle up until it becomes toxic and kills them. When stress comes, couples often respond differently. The man may become quiet, withdrawn, or buried in work, while the woman, on the other hand, often needs to talk, cry, and process out loud. These opposite reactions are not a failure of love, they are expressions of divine desire. Research from the University of Pennsylvania shows that men under stress often exhibit fight or flight behavior, leading to withdrawal or hyperactivity. Women, on the other hand, tend to engage the tend and befriend response, releasing more oxytocin, the bonding hormone which drives the desire to connect and to express. That's why a woman needs a hug. She needs a shoulder to cry on when she's under stress. In God's wisdom, He wired men to preserve energy in crisis by retreating, and women to resolve anxiety through verbal and emotional connection. This difference becomes a powerful healing force when it's understood and honored and not judged. Do you remember when David lost everything in Ziklag? 1 Samuel chapter 30, he withdrew and encouraged himself in the Lord. He didn't speak immediately. He just sought divine direction. That's exactly what I do when I'm under pressure. I internalize and I withdraw. And my wife is asking me, honey, is there any problem, baby? What's going on? And I said, I just need time to think. On the other hand, when Hannah was at Shiloh, 1 Samuel chapter 1, Hannah, overwhelmed with barrenness and provocation, poured out her heart in the temple. Her release brought her healing and brought her miracle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly the way God has created both of us. We are totally and we are completely different. This is the reason why that proverb says, a man carries his sorrow in his chest, but a woman spills hers into the wind. What are the take homes? Number one, wives, give your husband space without suspicion when they are under pressure. Two, husbands, listen to your wives venting without trying to fix everything. Sometimes she just wants you to listen and not to talk, not to give any answers. Number three, normalize counseling and prayer during stress seasons. Number four, don't take silence or talking personally. Number five, see stress response as partnership and not as opposition. Remember, stress doesn't have to divide, it can unite if managed with understanding. God has wired us to handle pressure differently so we can support and not suffocate each other. Your partner's silence or speech is not the enemy, it's an invitation for balance. I pray for you. May the Lord give you understanding in adversity. I decree peace in your communication under pressure. May every misunderstanding in crisis be turned to unity. You will not tear apart when tested. Receive divine wisdom to be your spouse's anchor in the time of pressure. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen. My name is Edwin Bible, and this is Wisdom for Winning.